Yo.
For all the money in the world. Damn it!
I'm in. I got it.
You got me.
I'm in.
Shit. Oh well, you can't win them all.
What can we buy in Vietnam with $10?
I know.
So.
New smells.
You smell that? You smell that? What for this particular episode, because we're focusing on Southeast Asia, French Indonesia, I put some lemongrass in the diffuser.
Indonesia? You
so
went
that's
back.
That's that. Yeah.
We call that Vietnam today, right?
That's right.
But
that's right.
We got a special one. We had a special guest.
Yeah, we had an old friend. We had an old friend in town, and he's in town from Vietnam, and we kind of pitched him the idea, and he bit. Like I couldn't. Oh, you really? You want to be on the show? You want to be interviewed? And I grew up with him till the age of 12. He moved to Yuma, and we'll get into the story once.
Yeah, he
put him
gets
on.
into it. We had a nice conversation. Yeah. Share some tequila.
But we caught up while drinking tequila.
Yeah, Tippy Arizaga, special guest we're gonna have today. Owner of Tippy's Mexican Food in Saigon, Vietnam.
That's right. And since we're both big Bourdain fans, after we listened to his story a little bit, and we're like, dude, this dude embodies somebody that
he's straight up what you would see in an episode of
Bourdain. Like, who's Bourdain gonna meet up with in that country so they could show Bourdain around? Like, he would definitely be that guy. So we're like, hey man, we got to interview this dude.
Yeah,
and it worked out.
Because when he was telling it, like his stories, it's just like, man, this guy's living the dream.
Yeah.
He's literally living what a lot of people see Bourdain as. Like, man, that's a dream job, to travel the world.
Absolutely.
Eat food from different parts you never had.
Because when you visit, like the Bourdainism kind of philosophy is, when you're traveling, you want to eat and drink with locals, like somebody that lives there, right? So if somebody were to come to the Imperial Valley, come to Yuma,
that's number one.
Yeah, that's number one.
Bourdainisms.
Where would you take them that's unique to that area, right? You're not going to take them to Applebee's. So when I hear that, oh, you went all the way to New York or Chicago, whatever, you're like, wait, you went to IHOP?
Hey,
you went to Applebee's?
Applebee's, their beer's cold.
Yeah, well, if you're drunk enough, you could be in any country, right?
Yeah, but you don't go to Applebee's if you're going around the world.
Yeah, so that's one. So it's kind of like, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, right?
True.
You're not gonna add ingredients on your burger that they wouldn't add in their burger. You generally want to kind of stay true to
you
local
want
area.
Their experience.
That's right. Like, right. So eat and drink with locals.
Which kind of reminds me of the theme of authenticity. We kind of touched on that. What's authentic food? And does it have to be authentic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does authentic mean?
What is authentic?
Right? What does authentic mean? So, and then when you see a long line of locals, you might as well get in it, right? I mean, they're in line for a reason. They're not tourists. And there's something special about that.
When I first read the second one, I saw locas. And I'm like,
what did that trigger?
In cholas.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I was like, I'm in. You see a long line of cholas.
Always in for cholas. Just get in line.
That's always gonna be a good story.
Yeah, and then of course, what's the best meal that you've ever had? Like, where were you at? This is the third one.
That's easy. Best meal I've ever had is one I'll never have again. It's because my grandma made the absolute best pozole.
That's it.
I've ever had.
That's number 3. The best meal is always made at home. And these are kind of 3 guidelines. He doesn't necessarily come on and say it, but in all the episodes I've seen, that's what I've kind of collected over the years. And
because part of it is kind of, well, for me, it's nostalgia, right? That feeling of being at home, being with family, and but I even had some other family members from my dad's side, when they'd come visit to my mom's side of the family, tell me, your grandma's pozole is the absolute, it's the shit.
Yeah.
Right? And my mom makes a really good pozole, but it's just the fact that she was the first one that kind of introduced me to that dish, and it was just like...
You see, your mom could be a legend to her grandkids.
For sure, and it's great. But it's not my grandma's. It's just a slight different touch,
So Bourdain always comes out. It became a we've talked about him over the years, but it's something I try to incorporate into the classroom because
you do show that a lot.
Because we're Valley kids, whether Yuma and Imperial Valley, it's like kind of the same thing, right? You have a bunch of poor kids. There's a good chance they're really not going to travel much. I know I didn't travel as a kid. I didn't travel at all until I became a teacher later.
Till you had money.
Yeah.
Money, right?
You didn't screw up and get married or have a kid, so you travel a hell of a lot more than I do.
I screwed up in other ways, but not in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's something I really try to incorporate in the classroom, and really give them just try to get them a little bit cultured, like and the idea is that those three things, like eat and drink with locals,
so what's
get
the
in line.
typical response you get from your classes when you do introduce Bourdain to them? What kind of questions or what kind of reactions you get?
Well, I do the settings. I really try to set the block, and I tell them if somebody was coming in from like Australia and they were to stay with you for a couple of days, what is unique about the Imperial Valley that they're going to experience here that they will never be able to experience anywhere else? And that's what kind of hooks it. And then we'll start talking about certain local thing, and I have them discuss, and where would you take him? And then they'll start throwing out little ideas here and there, and that's it. I hooked them. That's it.
Yeah, and the Imperial Valley has its own special.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
locations.
Yuma does. And
so does Yuma.
For me, I spent a lot of my childhood in Yuma because I was always with my cousin Frankie.
So Frankie.
So yeah, Yuma is pretty special to me too in that way.
Yeah. So I guess your goal when you introduce Bourdain is to provide them with a little bit of culture that they're most likely never going to get to see.
And I know I was annoying to my kids because I would stop the movies a lot, right? I would stop the movies a lot, but you really try to like develop whatever the scene is going on in a little background, because of course you and me, like we're in our mid-40s and we teach history.
Early.
Sorry, I'm older.
Early.
Yeah. So we're in our 40s and we have a lot more experiences, and of course we majored in social science, majored in history. So we have a lot more background to the world than students do. So I try to pause it and like jump in, and just try to feed them a little bit of background to the scenes, and hopefully again hook them back in. So when they leave this classroom, because I mean, what do you remember from high school? I don't remember much.
Stories.
That one time I was doing that math problem.
I remember stories.
No, stories like that. So that's it. That's the goal of Bourdain. Hopefully, one episode or a bunch of episodes will catch their attention, and when they go to travel.
Which is why when we heard Tippy was in town,
boom,
we're like,
dude, gotta have him.
He's coming from Vietnam. We got to find a way to get reach out. Shout out to Doc, setting that up for us.
Yeah.
But really, what was in that conversation after several tequilas? What would you say is one thing that stood out to you about what Tippy said in that conversation? Man,
the same thing that really stood out to me with Bourdain episodes. Like, you can describe a meal all you want, but when he was describing one of these meals, and you guys will see it right now, just his facial expressions when he was describing one of the bowls that we would have if we were with him, and you just see his face, the way it kind of turns, and
his demeanor changed a bit. He
got
a little bit more happy.
You see it.
He just kind of like his shoulders just kind of broadened up a little bit, and he was just telling about this dish here.
Yeah.
He was telling us about the pronunciations, and
but you can see his face when he's
and how he talked about like when he's having certain foods, like he wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world. Which reminded me about one of the stories that I shared, like certain places that I've gone. And I have traveled.
What's your grandma kitchen where he's going to tell the story about Colombia.
When I went to Colombia in the summer, a few summers ago, just having certain foods, and it's not like fancy or gourmet or anything like that.
Hits you, and you're like,
I love simple things, right? And it's just the simplicity of going to a corner food spot, whether it's like you're at a taco spot in the corner or a hot
that
dog
location,
spot,
the weather, the ambiance, the people's gonna hit you.
People
be like,
there, and they go there.
I don't want to be anywhere else in the world right now.
Absolutely,
and
that's just because where else in the world am I gonna have something so authentic like this? And so simple. That's truly where the beauty of travel, which is why I always encourage my students to travel as much as you can when you can. Because you're not only learning about different cultures, you're not learning about trying to do new things, new foods, but you're learning about yourself as well. And it does change your perspective. It changes your view on the world, and when you come back, you're also leaving little marks on people, conversations, local spots that
you're getting impressions.
Asking you questions.
Oh wow, they're from Yuma, they're from the Imperial Valley, or they're from America. You're leaving impressions on them, right? Because as Bourdain once said, and we'll be talking about this quote in the episode, travel is not a reward for working. Travel is not a reward for working. It's education for living. And you showed me this quote, and I was like, oh yeah, there it is, right? You get educated, you get more well-rounded, you meet new people from the other side of the world, and then you realize, you know what, all human beings are pretty much the same.
Yeah, we're all living,
we're the same species.
Similar situations. Not to the extremes to some, but we're all just trying to make it.
That's it.
We're all just trying to live our thing, whatever this this thing called life, presents to us. But everybody has struggles, and how you go about it, will determine your.
So speaking of struggles, go ahead and get in our episode of our interview with Tippy.
I was gonna say, for me, one of the things that stood out to me, and I kind of start cracking up, is when he talks about Just a Tip.
Oh yeah.
Enterprises.
Because
Just a Tip Enterprises.
His name is really Chris Arizaga, but I never knew his name was Chris.
Yeah.
I always knew him as Tippy. We when we were kids, I haven't seen him since we were 12 years old. I always knew him as Tippy, and then we were going through the interview, and he kind of mentioned one sign that he made one time in Vietnamese.
So what's it called?
Just a Tip Enterprises or something like that.
So
yeah,
he
it is in
explains
Vietnamese.
That.
Yeah.
So that's one of the cool things about this conversation is that he tells these little stories, but it's in the grand scheme of things he's living the dream. He talks about how he felt like a caged tiger, and he needed to run, and for him it was just going somewhere new, somewhere different. And while traveling, he fell in love.
No wife, no kids, and as soon as he showed up, so we'll show you that, right?
So. Yeah, so this is Tippy Arizaga. Hope you guys enjoy his story and the laughs we had.
Sipping tequila with Tippy Arizaga.
So,
Tippy's Mexican food in Saigon, Vietnam.
So
here we
if
go.
you're out there, check out Tippy's Mexican food. He's got several locations in Saigon, Vietnam. So
Girls, you going to Vietnam?
You got to go. Here's the interview.
From the very first minute that I came to this country, I knew my life had changed. My old life was suddenly never going to be good enough. I needed a new one where I could keep coming back here.
Author Graham Greene wrote that Vietnam can hold you like a smell does. He goes on to list images like this, and this, and this, and this. His character finishes the passage saying he doesn't give a damn about his old home, that home has shifted 8,000 miles.
It goes on. This from the quintessential Vietnam book, The Quiet American by Graham Greene, which of course I read every single time I come to Vietnam.
That's how I felt years ago when I first came to Vietnam. Almost immediately, I was in love with the country, its food, its people, the way it smelled. Right away, the thought was planted, how do I get to come here more often? What do I have to do to live here someday?
All right, so let's start first with the Bourdain quote.
So,
right?
Bourdain quote, you sent this to me earlier.
I saw this, I was like,
love it,
I
right?
think this will be perfect.
Travel is not a reward for working; it's education for living.
Exactly.
And the thing about this, like, I'm a huge fan of Anthony Bourdain. I know you guys have heard him, right?
Chris?
But then,
And then
so I've known a history. Who? Chris? Tippy.
Oh, Tippy.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I never knew.
You're like,
He's
like,
you're mentioning. Yeah, it's like, what's his name? It's like, it's what? Like, oh shit, I never knew. Even all those
Tippy
years, right?
Arizaga is
Yeah,
what
so
most know you as, but
yeah, so we haven't seen each other since we were 12 years old.
12 years old.
Yeah, so it's cool. I heard you were coming into town, and they told me, yeah, he lives in Vietnam now. He lives where? What? He owns a few restaurants. He does what? He sells Mexican food, dude. So that just brings up the whole Anthony. Hey, man, can we get this guy on camera? So here we are. Here we are, right?
Thank you for having me.
yeah. So
Appreciate it.
You've been in Vietnam for exactly how long?
I've been living there mostly full time since about 2011.
Oh, dang.
What do you mean? What do you mean full time?
Well, I mean, I live there. I mean, I haven't lived anywhere else.
Okay, yeah.
So tell us the origin story of this little league legends, because I mean that's how you guys know each other, right?
Yeah. So I mean,
You played on the Cubs. I played on the A's.
and the A's, yeah. So they were first place, right? We were always kind of the underdog. We were always kind of scrappy. They were good.
Like,
they were
like the
legit.
True Life Cubs, right?
And their ace pitcher was a future NFL player, Robert Thomas, right?
There was a stud.
Yeah, he was like the only guy in the league that could throw a curveball. Like that.
Days.
Oh, dang.
He was one of my best buddies, and then I never saw him again since 12.
Well, he went to the NFL.
to NFL.
We used to hang out all the time, man.
Yeah.
Good times.
Well, we all stayed the night at his house one night. I remember that for All Stars. But I mean, we felt like we were on the greatest All Star team ever put together, and then
we're all right.
And then we lost. Yeah, we lost in the final, even though it wasn't the final. Dude, that was a final. And they went on. I don't know if you know, they went on to win 2 more tournaments after that. And this is a big deal because we were 12. This is a path to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, right?
Little League World Series.
That's it, baby. So we got eliminated, hearts broken, whatever. But man, it was fun. So that's how I got to know Tippy a lot more. And then the next year, you moved to Yuma.
Yeah, I moved to Yuma. Finished high school here.
At Kofa High School.
Yeah, I went to Yuma for the first 3 years and Kofa my last year.
So you went to school with my cousin Cheyenne and his wife
Frankie.
My cousin Frankie and his wife Cheyenne.
Yeah. Cheyenne, y'all doing?
So you went with them, and then you went on to play. You went on to AWC.
Yeah.
Played a little soccer over there.
Played soccer at AWC.
That's cool, man.
By this time, I was kind of tired playing soccer.
Yeah.
Played a lot.
College sports I always hear that does that to people. Just wears you out.
I was kind of worn out before that.
Okay.
Because it was like when I was a kid, high school, every other weekend we were traveling, going around.
It's a lot
of energy, a lot of strain on my parents, and I still actually try to play sometimes.
Yeah,
got a good team over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I still play baseball, but baseball is not as demanding on the body as soccer is. So that's pretty cool that you still get up and do it on there.
If you come to Vietnam, we'll set you up. We'll sign you up ahead of time. You can play in the softball league. There's a solid softball league.
Yeah.
Right.
Some players, some ballers.
That's crazy.
Some ex-athletes, you know. Some couple dudes that jump out of the sky.
Really?
A couple of monsters like this just jacking home runs. Americans, some Canadians. There's some decent Canadian ballers.
As soon as you said tall, I was like, wait, what?
Some big fellas. American. Yeah, it's softball league.
Yeah.
There's a Japanese team. There's a Taiwan team. And I haven't seen a Korean team out there.
So I mean, Vietnam, it's first I want to get to this. So after that, you went to Arizona State, right?
Yeah. So I remember you were at Arizona State.
Yeah.
You then taught a little bit in high school, right? Or were you at Gila Ridge or?
I taught 5th grade at Otondo, 2 years. And then I taught at Gila Ridge.
And then
I there was an issue with the certification in the math department.
Okay.
So I just took a different job. By this time I was kind of not really feeling to be a teacher so much.
What was harder, elementary or high school?
They have different challenges, you know. I mean, my first year going in was 5th grade. It was a good introduction to everything. I organized because I wasn't very organized. I'm still not very organized.
Here we are.
But I can usually find everything I need, right?
Yeah.
But so I was like, then I taught for this company for the city. It's like a private company.
Yeah.
It was really cool. We did this at youth risk programs. I did these summer programs. We did some stuff with the college. We took the kids out there. I did it for a year and a half, something like that. It was really fun. There was this one summertime green education. We had like 7 full-time teachers doing it over summer.
Yeah.
It was good. It was fun. Yeah. And then I was like, I was just ready for more than Yuma had to offer.
So I mean, the where you ended up in the end is not a normal story.
My homeboy Bender said, "Hey, in April 2010, I'm going to Asia." And this guy's like a revolutionary guy.
He said 2010. He said, "I'm going to Asia." What did he say?
Yeah, because we'd been talking about it for years.
Yeah.
So he said, "Hey, I'm going to Asia from this date to this date."
Did you say anything specific yet, or he just said
I
Asia
said,
in general?
I'm going to Vietnam and a few other countries. His girlfriend, now wife, at the time, she was born there.
Yeah.
But she left when she was real young. So, you know, she has an affinity there. They were all going.
Is she Vietnamese or was going. American?
Yeah, she's American, but she was born in Vietnam. You know, so basically, I was in this band.
That's right.
Guys,
you played the guitar.
Let's go to California. Let's go to California.
That was a fun band.
We were decent, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed them.
cut an album.
There you go.
Not many people can say they cut an album.
That's
I
cool as
thought
hell.
you guys were good.
Mellow Bean.
Mellow Bean, yeah.
Shout out. And then I told the guys, let's go to California. Let's take the band. Let's get jobs. Let's do something different. And basically nobody could really do anything. So I was ready to go. I sold my house. Actually retired from the Arizona School District and took off. And then I went traveling. Landed in Hawaii. Stayed there for about 10 months. Went back to Vietnam. And at this time, it was like I basically fell in love with the place.
Yeah.
What caught your attention? What hooked you about Vietnam?
I mean, the proper answer is
The
the
communism.
lifestyle,
Yeah.
the way people are. Like
Yeah.
when I first went there, the thing I remembered in Vietnam compared to any other country I've ever been to is that the people that are the happy faces are just, there's more happy people everywhere.
Yeah.
No matter what they had, what they could have, what they did, they all ate for the most part, and they were all had family, and everybody was happy,
Yeah.
and never really experienced anything like that.
So
So
more
it
like a
took me
joyous
back.
Just the whole
environment.
vibe, whole culture. Yeah.
Overall, everything, because people helped each other. It's a very free enterprise place. You know, you work, you sell, you can make money. You know,
Yeah.
like
So I get a kick out of it because still to this day it's still a communist country technically, right?
I think the technical
Socialist.
It's the Socialist Republic of
Yeah.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about the Vietnamese government, but they're really, the people there are fantastic.
Okay,
No, I
but
mean-
you mean the people are just,
Oh, yeah.
they're living, enjoying themselves. They're,
Yeah. The government
happy.
part is just a tagline. People go for let's do some more. People go over there for a reason. You went there for a reason. And this ain't North Korea.
Yeah, there's
that's-
so many
that's the bottom
reasons.
line.
That we can get into lots of reasons.
Yeah.
Like at the time I was a young guy. Was kind of just for many years. I was just like a caged tiger. Like I wanted to go.
You
run,
wanna do
You
more.
know what I mean?
You wanna
I wanted
do
to
more.
run.
Yeah.
This is 2010, 15 years ago, so we were like
30,
30-ish.
30,
Yeah.
31. I was here. It just didn't really feel like. I'll be honest, man. Like everybody in this town, everybody knows somebody, and somebody knows everybody. I don't want to be.
it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Right?
But I like to find a wife from somewhere else as
Yeah.
well. And
Yeah.
bring something out, culture in here or something.
So you went there, you immediately, you saw this place and you fell in love with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when did you say, I'm living here, what am I going to do? Like, these are things that come in secondary.
Like technically you're still kind of backpacking, but something.
Yeah, so I was like, I was ready to start a business in Hawaii. I got the business license, I had a plan, I had product, I had a marketing plan. It was all ready to go. Me and my homeboy Jimbo. And then basically, I was there for about 10 months. I was talking to this girl, said, hey, I'm gonna come visit you. And then I'm gonna come back and start this business. It was gonna go for 2 weeks. And then my friend Bender, he had gone back to Vietnam and started a restaurant
Yeah.
on the beach. It was really nice.
Yeah.
And so
Like a Tom Cruise cocktails kind of a thing, right? Remember that? He opened a bar at the beach.
He and I went to this beach like on our last week in Nha Trang. We were there for 5 weeks, and his girlfriend Aline was there, and his wife, and then she left. So it was him and I for a couple weeks, and we just drank beer on the beach every day.
Yeah.
Basically, drank these black, beautiful beers at this little cabana beach on the bar.
It's good to be 30.
On the bar on the beach. It was fantastic. It was
Golden
absolutely
years.
fantastic. And then some people invited us to go to this beach. So we went to this beach, and there was just like this beautiful white sand beach, 22 kilometers south of Nha Trang, the beach town.
He said kilometers.
Yeah, I work in kilometers, man. It's,
Because it makes sense.
I could get back
Yeah.
into miles, but
Always have fun with that.
kilometers is
Speak
just
American.
easier.
Yeah,
I don't
everybody
even know how
uses
many
it.
miles it is.
Everybody use it, except for the United States. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So 23 kilometers.
It's a fantastic. You get a motorbike.
Yeah.
You go through the town, you get out of the city,
Like a little moped, right?
You go
or
through
no,
this-
motorbike. Okay.
windy mountain,
Uh-huh.
the ocean on your left. It's beautiful.
I've
Yeah.
seen that in the movie once.
One time I saw a monkey. Yeah, one time.
Really?
I stopped. I said, "Ah."
That's it.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Wow, man. So as like history teachers, we teach about this stuff in high school, and one of the big things culturally, and Anthony Bourdain brought to light in a few of his shows, was that, dude, they're not bitter towards us, and a lot of them is such a young population there, they were never even alive when that war was going on.
Generations
So,
removed. And so.
but you said it, even there, no matter what went on, everybody's happy. Just a certain vibe there.
You know, like different things bring people different happinesses.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So over there, it's like you got a full belly. You can go out and have a great time.
Yeah.
And you don't have to spend $200, $300 or whatever it
Yeah,
is. Or,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's really nice. And back then, it was even more humble. Like when I first went in 2010.
I was going to ask you, do you
It's
feel like they're
different.
more appreciative of
Oh yeah,
things
the
more
kids
than-
are hungry, man. The young kids, they're going to be a force to reckon with because they all study, they do their work, they're good kids. Teaching over there is a lot easier than teaching here.
Yeah.
100%. The job there, it's like it's a dream job. Like if I was smarter, I would have just been a teacher there and made a very good salary for a long time. I think now after the hard work and stuff, I if I did that, I'd go crazy.
Yeah.
But like I like working for myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shoot, lost my train of thought
Well,
there.
so the you just said it right now. You
The
like working
culture
for
of the
yourself.
kids. Uh-huh.
That
Led
was
you
the
to
plan.
your restaurant.
That was the plan all along since I left Yuma, fucking quit teaching. Like I have to do it. I have to do something for myself.
Yeah.
Because I just politics and other people like putting up with people's shit. I just can't do it.
Yeah, that. So you have your own enterprise. You're like, dude, I'm gonna open up a Mexican restaurant.
If I fail,
Vietnam.
I fail.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
Yeah.
If I'm successful,
It's your
well,
fault.
it's because something I did.
That's
made
the
it
thing
work.
about having a boss. You're running under their program, and so but when you have your own, you get to create the face of your business, and that's where you went
And what's
towards.
that experience been like for you, owning a Mexican food restaurant in Vietnam?
It's everyday thing, man. Like
Yeah.
it's wild. I've seen so many things like it with work because I work with Vietnamese people every day. I have to speak Vietnamese language.
Well, so you learned it when you got there, kind of.
My Vietnamese is like I say I speak Vietnamese. I can speak Vietnamese.
Yeah.
To an American, you speak.
You
fluent
understand them.
Vietnamese.
You can
No.
speak it back to them more.
Vietnamese is really hard. Like fluent, that's
Yeah.
I know some.
No,
some
but if
foreigners that
you
can-
talk to an American,
Oh.
if you talk to an American like, oh wow, you know Vietnamese, but you're over there, you feel uncomfortable because you know you're not fully,
No,
100% fully immersed.
I
Yeah.
speak. I go out there and I speak Vietnamese to people every day. We get.
Oh, okay.
I speak Vietnamese.
Oh, well, yeah.
But like to be fluent is a whole. The language is a lot of little things and a lot of
Very
vocabulary.
technical. Okay.
I hear the pronunciation, like one little off
I-
kind of tone is completely different word, but that's Chinese.
Yeah, there's two different types of like variations. There's one that it's like a uptone and a downtone
Yeah.
and like a hat. It's a
Oh,
so it
okay.
goes up and then down.
Like little vowel
Like-
sounds type.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
you know it goes up and then down.
Oh, so depending on
Oh.
how you carry that tone.
Yeah, and then there's like these other classifiers for letters. So like they don't have all the same letters as we have, but they have some like let's say like the letter O, and there's a O with a hook on it.
Yeah.
That's not one of these accents. That's like an actual letter.
Uh-huh.
So you have O, and then you have with the hook. It's like O, you know. So it's like it's all. It took me 5 years to really like kind of start hearing it.
Yeah.
You know.
But in the meantime, you were already there working. You had
Working.
your place, and you're learning the language on the way.
My first bar is called the Shack.
You open a bar.
It was a restaurant bar on the beach. It was beautiful, man.
Man.
It was like this was like literally
living the dream,
This is
man.
like the paradise dream. This I swear to God, I owned it for 2 years.
Dude.
My fucking one of my best friends, Brian Bender. I've already shouted him out. He fucking made it. He made it, and I bought it from him. And then he gave me a good deal. And then,
Please.
so I got there, and it was like, okay, so what am I going to do? There was a bar. There's like a bottle of Jack Daniels and a bottle of tequila or something. It's like, okay, so I got to figure out how to make a restaurant. So I got some beef and some buns. I think first thing I did was I did tacos. Because I had a tortilla supplier.
Yeah.
Shout out to Saigon Tacos.
Yeah.
And I keep giving out shout outs.
Yeah.
Wait, it's still called
Don't worry, they're
Saigon?
not gonna see this.
Still called Saigon Tacos?
This guy was one of the very first tortilla makers in all of Vietnam.
That's cool,
Robert
man.
from San Diego.
Nice.
Good guy. So I bought tortillas from him, and I was like his first big customer that was like getting larger orders.
Yeah.
Since then he's gone on to do lots of things, and then so we just got it. I got some steak. It was like this filet Vietnamese style beef.
Yeah.
The beef there is different too, like
It's more organic, I imagine.
it's it's less, it's more lean, and it's a whole different species.
Okay.
It's not the same.
Yeah, you go any part of the
cattle.
world. Yeah.
Like, some have floppy ears,
Yeah.
And so I would chop up this beef, and then we started doing tacos and burritos, and from there it just kind of
Took on.
took off. But that menu was good.
Yeah.
We had burgers, onion rings, really fat onion rings. They're
Yeah.
delish.
And
But
would you
anyways,
say your menu was really simple then?
Simple. We had.
As long as
People
there's
love simple.
alcohol there.
People like
and it's
simple.
greasy.
I was saying, like, when I first got there, it was a family that ran the business,
Okay.
right? So it was like a partnership. I had a partnership with them. My friend had upgraded the building. He put the first 2 bathrooms in that location. There was like at the time there was like 17 restaurants on the beach, like shacks.
Yeah.
When you walk in, like the roof is like these bamboo roofs with like coconut leaves on top.
Wow.
Coconut tree leaves on top.
Yeah.
And bamboo and you'd have to duck under the fucking thing because the Vietnamese were so scared of the sun. They didn't want to go in the sun. So you have to duck under this sand to get in this little like hut.
Yeah.
And you order this great seafood like barbecue squid and oh man, this stuff was so good.
You're near the ocean, so it's super fresh. Yeah.
She had a take right there. You can pick crabs, get squid, these big old shrimps. These shrimps were huge. Oh man.
So being there for almost 15 years almost?
Yeah, I
Give or
mean,
take?
I went there in 2010, but that was 5-6 weeks. And then I moved. I went back 2 months. And then
When did you start officially living there?
Official.
Yeah.
July 2,
Oh, wow.
2011.
Okay.
That was a date.
Well, because I arrived in Saigon July 2, got a hotel, met this one guy who's still a good friend today. He's a pilot. He went out surfing with me when we had the shack. It was like a little surf place too. So I came to Saigon the next day, July 3rd, and I opened the restaurant 4th of July.
Oh damn! Like you got there, you know.
Yeah, I just fucking got a bunch of
rolling.
booze and went out there. Beer, I got beer, tequila, and I think tortillas, and I don't know. It's like I had some tortillas
You
there.
had a basic, scrap up list and put it together.
Magic
Let's
recipe.
Go.
Oh, you got some meat? All right. Let's roll.
Let's go.
Let's roll, baby.
I got me. Oh, tortillas. I'm good. I can
No-
make 100 different dishes with tortillas.
Nobody fucking spoke English.
Dang.
Sorry.
Beautiful.
You're
Nobody spoke
showing
English.
up and nobody speaks English.
And
You
I
don't
didn't
speak
speak.
Vietnamese.
No, I knew like 2 words. Like
Oh
Xin
my
Chow.
God. That's ballsy
It was
right
it was
there.
scary. It sucked.
That's ballsy.
In the beginning, it was very stressful.
Yeah.
About
People start
Not
yelling
many
at
have
you
the
in
balls
Vietnamese.
to do that.
No.
no, it was like I had this, and also too, like this was before Google Translate.
Yeah.
You know,
Before Google
iPhones
Maps and
all
you
that
actually had to
stuff.
know where you're going.
Dude, now
They
you
had
with
Google Maps. They had,
did they? Okay.
They had like the first version of it way back on iPhones.
MapQuest?
or something.
Dude,
Anyway.
but now I was watching some
have been
show.
MapQuest.
I was
Printed it out on the
Hey,
phone.
print out the map quiz.
I was watching
Or your
some
dad
show,
pulls out the
the-
map from the side.
this backpacker, small-brained American. He goes different places, and he was in China at this one point, like in the border of North Korea. And of course, he doesn't know any Chinese, and they don't know any English. So he's sitting there with his phone, and the Chinese dude with the phone, they're having a conversation by speaking into the phone, and it translates, and they show them back and forth. So you could nowadays,
now you can.
You could sit
But
there,
he's showing
and have
up
a totally foreign
Speaking
conversation.
English. Nobody speaks
Yeah,
English. He
old
doesn't
school
speak-
way.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
we have Google Maps. I
That's
know
what
I'm
I'm saying.
going.
That takes a lot of balls.
I just can't
That
talk to
takes
you
a
yet.
lot of balls.
Two things. I had two things: a small dictionary and
Handheld dictionary.
and a phrase book. Yeah, the
phrase book.
phrase
okay.
book was about this big, and the dictionary was smaller. And
Yeah.
I'd carry those around with me.
Yeah.
And back then too was like I literally learned how to speak Vietnamese, like just conversational, by texting with girlfriends, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And
Vietnamese girlfriends.
yeah.
It's beautiful. All right, now we're talking.
And then it was like, and they
Living
had
the
this
dream.
fucking brick phone. So you're like tapping 3 letters
Get
to
a
get
Nokia.
X
Oh,
or
you get the
whatever.
T9.
You know? Yeah.
I got the T9. You got to press it 4
There
times
was
to get
one
the
that was
R.
faster, that was like a little bigger, but it was
The
a different age.
T9.
And then text messages were like 10 cents. 10
Yeah,
cents. a-
see, back then
It was
nobody
like-
texted.
it
It was
was
on the
like-
phone. Now
Wow.
nobody talks. Everybody's texting because
Wow.
they charge you like
It was
8, 10
expensive.
cents.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit. That's crazy though
hey,
because
she must have been worth it.
yeah, I hope so. That's a whole different story. But so here's my question, because you went through it the hard way. You just went, and I'm gonna get going. Somebody who's
Dove in the
wanting to
deep
do what
end,
you did,
yeah.
what advice would you, or what would you tell them? Like, the stuff that you don't know, that you know, that you didn't know when you arrived, but now you know.
I mean, this depends on what you want to do. Like, do you want to go there and live and kind of try to get a job, or do you just want to like go in and just kind of do something for yourself, right? I guess at the end of the day, it just makes a matter of you make a calculated decision, right? Somehow you calculate it in your mind, and then you either do it or you don't do it. Like, there's a lot of things I don't do,
Sounds like an American dream to me.
but it's because it's calculated that
He's
I
living
think,
the Vietnamese dream.
yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know, man. This planning and thinking ahead, knowing what you want is important.
Yeah.
And then from there's systems. Systems are so important in life. Like making things happen, especially for the restaurant business. Without that, it all fall apart. You know? But
Did you have much experience in the restaurant business when you got there?
That.
I worked at Outback Steakhouse when I was about 7 months.
So,
you did.
no,
You
but
did.
I would argue this in your defense. Nobody would know who Steve Wozniak was without Steve Jobs' vision. So you stepped in there with more. You had very limited. Dude, I worked at Red Lobster, but I can't walk around. Hey man, I can cook whatever you want.
Yeah.
No, I knew how to throw stuff in the microwave, right?
Dude, I tell
But you had a vision, and that's what it was. You had the vision. You have huevos.
Yeah.
I know what I want.
it wasn't a vision for a restaurant, like particularly. It was more a vision of I need to make myself be able to afford whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
To be able to live the lifestyle you want.
You had a
to live.
vision of a lifestyle.
That's what it was. So for a lot of years I could kind of just chill and hang out and have a great time. But it was really hard, financially.
Yeah.
But I think part of that was probably me not focusing a lot and just hanging out and wasting energy in different places.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, you live and you learn. Yeah.
but also too, over these years, I was always building, like slowly. We were always up until COVID. We never had any downturns, right? Like, and after COVID, since then, we've been only going up again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Tell me a little bit about COVID times for you guys out there. Were you out there the whole time?
yeah. So in the beginning, it was fantastic. Everybody's like, "Yeah, fuck you," we could go out. It was easy, but there was a lot of restrictions in the beginning. There was like a hard.
They came down really strictly.
Yeah, and it was because I think it was hard because you never really seen anything like that. So it was just
Nope. I mean,
you
I remember telling
can't
my
have
students.
dine-in restaurants.
I remember telling my students, "This is stupid. This is gonna go away like a flu," and it didn't. People started dying.
But-
So,
but
like
then
that.
you're now having to adjust how you run your restaurant. I would imagine.
Yeah. So luckily we had we do a pretty decent tortilla trade. So we sell to different restaurants. We sell to our customers. People cook tortillas at home and stuff.
That's cool, man.
So and then about 2 years before COVID, we started doing steady production of frozen burritos. So we got these little frozen burritos that we sell.
Ooh.
And then that was like that was a godsend, because if we didn't have that already established,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd have done for money.
Uh-huh.
It'd have been hurting, because I still had bills, rents.
Because
I
people still
got
wanted
a
to
reduced
people
rate,
still
but
wanted to
it's-
go to restaurants.
Some-
People still wanted to eat, but it's like, well, how if everything's shut down?
It went
reminds
through
you of-
waves. It went through waves.
Yeah.
At first we were shut down, and then we could open again, and then it was like half capacity, and then but you could only, you had certain restrictions, and then only delivery,
I remember all those.
and then
places.
back, and then only delivery, and then no delivery, essential goods only.
Wow.
So I got in because I had those frozen burritos. So I was just taking, it was like a 5-day process.
Yeah.
We'd probably make like, shit, I don't even know. One day
Just
I
in
remember
bulk?
counting like 36 deliveries in one day. I just loaded up, I had 2 loads. I loaded up 2 ice chests on top of each other,
On a
full
bike?
of frozen burritos on a bike.
Oh
and
my
I'd go
God.
skirt through all these roadblocks
Yeah.
and police stoppages, and I'd be like, yeah, nobody fuck with me because I had big things of food, right?
Yeah.
And I think, and because that was like, you couldn't sell anything cooked in the kitchen. It had to be only like frozen food or like meat or vegetables, rice, shit like that. And then they cut that shit off, and then it was only government delivery of food.
Yeah.
They'd give some food to people.
So you
and that
went-
was what I bounced for a short while.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause-
That's tough. I mean, they're basically making it
So
impossible to.
what's amazing to me, what's totally fascinating to me, is you have Mexican restaurant in Vietnam. Top 3 dishes,
Well, we got really popular for our burritos.
burritos.
Yeah, so we have these different styles of burritos that we made up.
Tell me about your burrito.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, more popular one.
My
like-
favorite is the steak tippy style.
Oh,
To tell you the
dang.
truth.
That's what it is on the
That's
menu.
yeah.
Just a tip, baby.
Me? Obsessed with you? Yes.
You want to know something
Steak
crazy?
tippy style, yeah.
Is that what the
You wanna-
burrito's called? Just
you want to
tip?
know something really funny?
What's that?
Is I had that beach location, right?
Uh-huh.
And then about a year in, I opened a small little place in the town, like in the center of the town.
Uh-huh.
It's a real little small little place, and that's where we started selling a lot of burritos.
Yeah.
And back then in Vietnam, you need to post your name of the company on your wall, or something like that. So back then, the rule was that I had heard was you have to put the logo, the company name above the logo, right? So I put the company name in this big neon light above the restaurant. It said Công Ty, TNHH, which is the Vietnamese part, Just the Tip Enterprises.
That's beautiful.
It's called marketing, kids. It's called marketing.
It literally
that's
said that
beautiful.
on top of
Yeah.
the fucking restaurant.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I should.
That's awesome.
No,
dude,
we're
that's-
good. Your pants are still on. You're fine, dude. don't worry about it. Don't worry about
Just
it.
a tip enterprise.
Yeah,
Oh,
I remember.
man.
So I mean, is that as offensive as Vietnam as it is here? That lingo.
Nobody understood it. No, at the time, no Vietnamese.
Do they
people-
know
There you
you
go.
go by Tippy?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why I can probably get away with it.
Wait, so what happens in this burrito? What goes on in your burrito?
Okay,
What is
okay.
it?
Yeah, so we do so we do 5 different meats. We call it steak, green chili pork, chorizo, fish, and
No, separate or one?
what chicken?
These all separate ones?
No, so you can choose your meat. So you
Okay,
choose
got
your
it.
meat, choose your style, choose the size.
Chipotle,
We have a large and a medium.
Chipotle Tippy style.
Dang.
Yeah, originally kind of that was like it,
Chorizo,
but
Tippy style.
I kind of wanted to do something like that, but this is what it turned out to. And
What are
I
you
think
gonna
this
pick up
is
today? I'm
better.
gonna go get some of the Tippy's chorizo. I'll be back.
How many you want?
No,
We make it fresh over there, kind of.
Yeah. Do you want 1 or 5? Yes. Yeah. Sorry, man.
What are we talking about? Taco beer or what are we talking about?
No, let's do it.
Yeah, we're
Cheers.
cheers.
Sorry about that.
So you could get all this, but your product is I'm assuming different from any other Mexican. I can't imagine how many Mexican locations there are there.
Over there, it's you can't just go to the store and make Mexican food.
Yeah.
Like you have to make everything kind of from scratch, especially way back in the days.
So let me give you a backstory to help you out, right? I just had this recent former foreign exchange student from Denmark come in with her boyfriend, and they said, hey, since high school she's been telling me, hey, take me to Mexicali. I want to go. All right, cool. So, but I couldn't because I can't take a 6 foot tall freaking Viking blonde to Mexicali. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can.
So now, no, well, it's just a married guy kids doesn't look bad, right?
Yeah.
A small community. So I told her. So when she had a boyfriend, she's getting married to this dude. Like, oh hell yeah, you're gonna bring him? I'll take you now. So I took him down there, and she said that at home she tries to make him like carne asada tacos and stuff like that. But I took her to this place in Mex. And I was eating Anthony Bourdain. Where should I take him? What's something that'll be memorable? And I did, pretty base taco shop there, and they told me, dude, the tacos are never gonna be the same. Like you ruined us. She told us that, right? So that's the thing. Like you're taking over that concept, and how can I bring home to Vietnam? And this is what you're kind of doing. And what's authentic? Screw authentic. Does my local market want to come to my restaurant? You know what I mean? So authentic is what makes everybody happy.
Yeah.
But
we've never tried to. I've never personally tried to change anything to make it more appealing to Vietnamese people. Like back in the days, we'd get sometimes it's salty.
Yeah.
But now we don't really get that.
Yeah.
You make it as you know it, and you like it or you don't.
Yeah. And we try to do a very simple, clean dish.
People like simple, like
just.
Simple menus are,
Yeah, it's our menu keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I try to cut it down, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Well, it gets bigger because it's something that they want it.
We sell everything.
Yeah.
We sell all of our dishes, from the salad to whatever, to tacos, quesadillas, nachos.
Okay. So
sells.
Now I gotta ask you. You've been there for quite some time. For someone going to Vietnam, what are your food recommendations?
So wait, before we get there, I want to throw this out there, right? Because
there's you don't even know.
This so I always thought, I'm a big fan of Anthony Bourdain. This big reason why I find you super fascinating, man, is Anthony Bourdain. The whole theme of the show is you want to eat and drink with locals, right? Anything they're doing locally, you go. If you see a local restaurant with locals, a huge line of locals, you get in it, and the best meal is made at home, right? So if he were in, I swear, he would love to have you as a travel partner in a country like that, right? Because you've been there 13 years, you opened a restaurant, and you got the flow of things. So we were going, or you were taking him. We got up in the morning, what are we doing? What's our day like?
Yeah.
We're there with you, we're hanging out.
Are we in the beach? Are we in the city? Are we in Ho Chi Minh, Saigon?
We're staying the night with you. What are we doing? We get up in the morning, what's our day like?
For this type of experience, I mostly stayed in two towns. There's a beach town that I freaking love, and it's so beautiful. So if we're there,
what's it called so we can look it up?
Probably have a late night, right, before.
Given.
That's a given.
So wake up slow, get a little coffee, right, and then go eat somewhere. Now there's my current go-to place is this little. It's called Mi Ba Chalon.
So what do we have in there?
Little. I like they said little.
So when in Rome,
dude, I swear this place, if it would get a little Michelin star, man. It's so good.
Yeah. That thing's overrated.
It's just.
It's small.
I mean, but for something in Vietnam that would make it blow up, it'd be great for her.
Yeah.
And she's a busy. They got these. Okay, so the main dish is like a Chinese style bowl of meat. Meat with noodles.
What's this dish called? Do you remember?
So it would be Mi Ba.
Okay.
Mi Ba.
Mi is noodle, Ba is
We'll
beef.
look it up. We'll put it on the screen. So
and
noodle beef.
And oh, dude, it's good. I'm on these like little dumplings.
Oh.
They got these fried ones and steamed ones.
I've never had them fried.
Really tasty. This like nice little chili kind of sauce on the side.
Okay.
This place is like you literally go there, you can spend like $3, you get 2 dishes, and just
dude, the way he described it, he's like thinking about it and go, like it's like, all right,
dude,
this is sold, dude. Yeah.
When I'm in Nha Trang, I eat at this place probably 3 times, 4 times a week even. There's a really so we're talking about what we can do for the day.
Yeah, so we're there. We're eating this bowl of
You go for a hike.
wonderfulness,
There's
right?
a couple of hikes there that are really beautiful.
Are we hiking
You
through
can
the
climb
jungle,
up-
or are we still on the beach?
You can go on this one that you're like chopping through the jungle,
Okay.
and you go up to
You've done this before?
this one. I just heard about actually. I
Okay,
need
you have
to
done.
do it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why I want to do it. I need to do it.
Okay.
My buddy just went on it. They got a guide, and they just powered through. I heard it was pretty cool.
Okay.
This is a new one. But so here's the thing about Vietnam is you don't just go and go and go and go. You just like chill.
Dude, we're with you. We're rolling with whatever you do.
What's a good
Yeah.
dinner? Let's go to dinner.
You guys want to go to dinner?
Yeah. Where do you go?
My favorite dinner, there's one Vietnamese style dinner that is my favorite. That it's a seafood restaurant. It's on the beach. If you go onto the top level, you can see out into the ocean a bit.
What's this place called?
This place is called, what's it called?
It's like a sea.
Tan. Oh man, I can't believe I can't believe it.
My pronunciation would be off anyway.
Look
Anyways,
it up after.
anyways, go for it. So what?
Oh, now I'm
this-
doing it injustice.
Yeah.
So you go there, you get this. You can get like this. They have this one fish they call catchin. It's like a bird fish, and it's like silver, and they wrap it in this banana leaf with these herbs
Ooh.
and steam it. Oh man, they serve it with these
flavor and
rice.
infusion for the banana
They serve
leaf
with these
and-
rice paper.
Yeah,
and
sticky
these
rice,
Other, No, it's like
Oh,
rice paper.
rice
so
paper, okay.
It's like this thing. Drop it in water. It gets like
Yeah.
wet. You roll it up. You put the herbs and the sauce. Have you ever heard of the sauce? It's basically the translation means salt chili sauce.
As long as you don't say shrimp sauce, we're rolling
It's
with
this
it.
seafood sauce that they make. They call it muy at san. Muy at san.
Yeah.
Muy at san.
I gotta get that.
San is
tone up.
green.
Okay.
Muy is salt. At is chili. So green chili salt sauce.
Yeah.
You can try it out there. Get lime juice, fresh lime juice, these little green chilies, these little really piping hot little chilies,
Yeah.
sugar, and the salt. 4 ingredients, and just blend it up and try to find the right ratio.
Personally, like we'd all have different ratios. It's not like, hey, bring me
This
out
sauce
this one.
is fantastic, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
You put on the seafood. You can get these like lobsters.
I can see in your face describing it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, see, there it is.
It's
Exciting.
anytime
I'm
anybody comes
excited,
in town, I'm like, hey, you guys got to try this restaurant
Yeah.
just so I can go.
So I know that.
And then, you know what? That's the beauty.
Just
like,
so I can indulge.
That's the beauty of like travel is like you get to, even if it's nothing that you're into or you don't enjoy it, at least that you experience it, and it kind of just opens your eyes to
Yeah.
different things. You know. What I mean?
I like to ask people. There's certain dish you're sitting there, you're eating it, and you're thinking to yourself, it might subconsciously cross your mind or not. I don't want to be anywhere in the world right now.
No.
Like there's certain dishes like that.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I don't know if you remember. I'm not going to go into detail, but I went to Colombia a couple summers ago, and I don't know if you remember. I sent you a message. It was after the club. We went dancing and everything, had drinks, and I go to this corner spot in Bogota, and they're selling empanadas, and it's like chicken in there, or whatever, and they had this hot sauce. It was different, but it was spicy, and I'm like, and I sent a message. I'm like, there's no other place in the world that I'd rather be than right here, now. Right now.
Yeah. You find that
and it
dish.
was like delicious. It was
and
like, man.
It's hard to describe. Maybe you
Yeah.
can't use words, but when you're describing the dish, I saw your face like, okay.
And I try to be
All right,
mindful of
that's
that.
place I want to be.
Like if
just based on your face.
Whenever I travel somewhere different that I've never been, I try to like just take a moment and it doesn't even matter if it's like Denver, I've never had that where I had never been, or like another country or whatever. It's just sitting there. I'm thinking like, how different this is. I don't have access to it on a regular basis, and like how cool it is to experience.
I'm that dipshit too. I'll ask the waitress, if you were coming here, what would you eat? I'm that guy. You know, if I'm in a totally different spot, totally unfamiliar.
What's cool about a lot of that stuff is sometimes these restaurants, they kind of specialize in one or two, like some small dishes. So it makes it like, oh, you go there, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's no fucking around.
Yeah.
You might get no onions or more noodles or whatever.
Small variables.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's one thing I thought about when you read that quote. How does that quote go?
Oh, okay. Let's do it again. Hang on. Travel is not a reward for working. It's education for living.
See, I think that's really really cool. But I think what I did was I made being in a beautiful kind of awesome place my living.
Yeah.
So basically, I could live the dream. Like,
Live
I
your
mean,
dream.
I lived the dream at the time, right?
Yeah.
And like what I did over there was kind of wild, you know. Like everybody says, "Oh, you're wild" or whatever.
Dude, it is. Yeah.
It's I would say I said it's ballsy.
But I mean,
fascinating, man. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I know a lot more crazier people that make a lot less calculated risks than me. You know what I mean? I just did.
Hey, but it's working for you.
It's after many years, it's kind of like finally kind of paying off a little bit. A little bit.
It takes time.
Time investment.
Oh yeah, I mean, restaurant business is really hard. You know,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then doing it in Vietnam
So it
was
sounds
like,
like anywhere in the
Well,
world.
not
that
only is it
doesn't
hard,
mean-
you're doing it in a different country. And,
different country, different culture, different government, different regulations. Yes,
and
I'm totally
you learned it
fascinated
on
by
the fly. So that's why shit. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
That's why
All right,
we
all right.
said, you know what,
right,
this is
Yeah.
this is an opportunity to kind of learn about it because we talk about Bourdain a lot, and so
I won.
you know what I mean.
So when Bourdain went to Thailand, he was eating with people out, like out in the jungle where they made some whiskey, right? So they're eating somewhere in the jungle, and the guy kind of that Bourdain was with, the white guy, he kind of mentions when they do a greeting, like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, how are you doing? But the reality is, we don't care how you're doing. It's just like, so you can imagine, you go up to somebody, how are you doing? Oh man, I just lost my car, and nobody cares. Just say, hey, how are you doing, right?
It's just
So
a
over
formality.
there, the
It's a
greeting in
formality.
Thailand is, have you had your rice today? And that's like, if you had your rice today, that means you're having a good day. So that's like the standard greeting. Do you have anything like that over there, culturally? Have you seen that?
yes, exactly. And when you told me that, I was thinking one of my good friends, really smart dude, recently told me, he's like, because I got a phone call from my girlfriend,
Yeah.
and she said blah 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 blah, and I said, did you eat yet, or how did you get dinner yet? And then we hung up. My friend heard me. He said, it's amazing how like you could just take care of the simple things and makes her happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a lot simpler.
From how are you doing to have you eaten yet?
Yeah, just did you eat em ăn cơm chưa?
Huh?
You know, and it's like taking care in a way, just showing, and it's you know, you do care,
Yeah.
right?
It's showing that you care.
And
you know.
my job is feeding people, you know,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like that's
yeah.
like one of my most important cares, right? And so
Is that like
yeah, it's happiness. You know?
is that but like a greeting? Is there a similar greeting like that?
Well, that is one, like em ăn cơm chưa? Did you eat yet? Did you eat
Yeah.
rice?
But they're not literally asking you. I mean, generally.
No, yeah,
Are you-
you're literally asking
Yeah.
her.
How are you doing? I'm doing good.
Uh,
Did you eat today? I did. Like same phrase.
When you tell somebody how are you or something like that in Vietnamese, it's khỏe không, which means like are you healthy?
Yeah.
Estás bien?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, health is your khỏe.
Todo bien,
khỏe.
güey.
It's like you're feeling and you know, make sure you're okay.
So
Yeah.
that's
So that's I guess that's what it would be. Yeah, something like that.
Kick it.
cool.
How about standard drink when you go to a restaurant? Because I know, like when I saw these episodes, I saw him drinking a lot of beer in Vietnam. Thailand, he's drinking a lot of whiskey.
do they have their own whiskey?
What do you guys? What is the norm?
Beer is big in Vietnam. You know, it is the biggest probably consumed thing.
More like a lager.
Yeah, a lager.
Similar to
just
here.
Similar, like a basic, you know, Bud Light or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a Singaporean company that has a really big influence in the Tiger beer there.
Oh, okay.
And then there's Saigon beer.
Uh-huh.
There's some different beers.
Yeah.
I like Huda. Huda's a good one.
Huh?
It comes in a can sometimes. I
Yeah.
prefer that.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So yeah, I do all these stories you give me. I can picture. We're going to hang out with you. We have a night out. Wake up in the morning.
Hey, we gotta make
No,
that
dude,
the
we
bowl
go.
of
we gotta make
wonderfulness.
that
Dude, and you know what's also really fantastic about Nha Trang, Saigon, Hanoi, all these bigger cities, is they have people moving in from everywhere.
Yeah.
It's such a melting pot.
That's what it sounded like. Like you get your
Such-
tortillas from a guy from San Diego.
Yeah.
For a while. Like,
I
wait, what?
mean, that's just the start of it. Like there's like
Is it because
Japanese chefs.
where you live? Is it a tourist?
Well, I
attraction,
mean,
or just in general?
Nha Trang is pretty heavy tourist.
Okay.
Saigon has quite a bit of tourists too,
Yeah.
more than Nha Trang, but it's a huge city, you know.
But I get a kick out of it because the guy Bourdain is hanging around in Thailand. It's like I just came backpacking for a few weeks and I stayed a few years. I once had a professor at an East Asian Studies class, right? It was a 2-week program at USC, and I went there, and he said I went there for like 2 months. I ended up staying there 6 years. He even married a Chinese woman from China. So you hear these like common stories, something about, it's got to be something about like the culture, right? It's just.
It's very
Hooks people.
family orientated,
Wait,
you know.
do you have
definitely.
Do you have Asian kids yet?
No,
Okay.
actually, I'd like to have some kids ready to go.
Well, yeah.
I've always been responsible.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
hey,
I haven't.
Before we kind of divert ourselves into a different conversation, we got one question for you. This is kind of typically
please, yeah.
We ask our guests, because you're in the restaurant business, you're in that world.
Serious question, Tim.
I mean, this is
It's time to get
this
serious.
podcast is known for its deep philosophical,
Deep dive.
take on things, but I've got to ask you: is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
The people want to know.
I want to know.
A hot dog is a hot dog. And a sandwich is a sandwich. I think the basic concept is similar, but when you eat one, you have a different feeling. And I'm okay with keeping the name separate.
Yeah.
From hot dog is a hot dog
Yeah.
and sandwich is a sandwich.
Especially since now they call hot dogs glizzies, and that's just a whole other category.
You see, I don't know any of the lingo, bro.
That's what I'm here for.
I need to
We-
know.
we're here
I need
for
to
you.
We're here
know.
for you. You've been
Yeah.
removed for a little bit.
Yeah, you
so-
can't have a glizzy on a sandwich.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's right.
No.
So there it is. A hot dog is a hot dog, and a sandwich is a sandwich.
Tip, man.
Hey, for that,
Dude, it's been a pleasure. It's a pleasure hanging out again. What has it been? With 12, 30
I mean,
plus
yeah.
years, man.
Something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
hopefully
yeah.
the next time it's not that many years. So.
Shout out
Yeah, thank you.
Shout out to Robert Thomas's hanging curveball to Justin Rutherford. That's it, baby.
Jack, you should have got back.
I should have listened to my mom, man. Get back. I'm like, nah, that only happens in the movies. Walk off home run over my head. Like,
To you, Tim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tim.
Thanks for joining
You're
us.
the man. Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Salud.